Welcome everybody back to lovely Toomer Town. Bruce here. I guess I might as well, you know, get out and say it that I, in a political sense, I'm an independent. I have voted for members of the major parties for president once on each side of the coin. Every other time I voted independent. I know that may be hard to believe, but that's what I did. I don't believe in the waste your vote idea. It's my vote, and if I want to make it as a protest vote, I'll make it as a protest vote. And that's just the way it is. And that's what I've done. And I've been fortunate in that my family had no politics. They never discussed it, never got into it, never dealt with it. So I've been able to develop myself over time with my own education and my own life experiences. I guess you could call me a fiscal conservative, but a social communist. Maybe communist is too far. Maybe social is better. Sorry, I feel like crap today. But I I want to say that back in the day there was a civility in politics. It was still a dirty game. Winner take all, that sort of deal. Zero sum game. But the way everybody seemed to play it was, that part of all the voting districts are Democrat, those are Republican. These are the toss-ups, and this is where we'll really fight. Okay, fair enough. That way no one was ever assured, a supermajority or anything like that. But then as time wore on, things started to change. And we started to get into gerrymandering, where, a party would have enough control in a state legislature that they could go start drawing the lines the way they wanted so they could make, 80 of the 100 districts Republican districts and only 20 Democrats. They'll never control crap, right? Now, you can look at that on one hand and say, well, that's gamesmanship for you. That's how you play the game. It's legal. It's there. You do it. But on the other hand, I look at it with great disgust and say that is hardly what I was raised to believe democracy was all about. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's authoritarian, without a doubt. And I mean, when I was in the 90s, my wife and I, got politically involved, engaged, activated. I worked very hard for a presidential candidate on the Democratic side. My wife worked very hard for a friend of ours who was running for the state Senate as a Republican. So we got inside both parties, saw how it worked, and I tell you what disgusted me the most was that the very first thing they teach you if you're involved in a campaign is how to suppress the other side's voters. Really. How to stop them from getting out to vote. And I just thought that is the most anti-democratic thing I could think of. Right? We want people to vote. It's your right. It's your privilege. The whole nation is built on the idea of voting. Please get out and vote. I don't care what you vote, for. Just vote. But no. That idea had apparently been losing ground for quite some time. And then we had the rise of the radio DJs, the shock jocks, and many of those turned into the right wing, conservative shock jocks, and that caught the Democrats totally by surprise. They had no response for that whatsoever. So all these people locked in their radios all day were just being bombarded by all this rhetoric. And at first the rhetoric was relatively mild, wasn't so bad. But over time, Rush Limbaugh and company just ratcheted it up. And then we got Newt Gingrich when he came into the Congress, with the contract with the people or whatever that was. And he really turned the needle because he got really personal. He's the one who started calling, Democrats evil. And when you start calling somebody evil, I mean, you've turned a corner. You can call me a moron, an idiot that I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know anything about the position I'm taking. You can say that all you want, but when you start calling me evil and I need to be dealt with, we've turned a corner in society. We have really made things very, very nasty. And it's very hard to go back. Once you start dehumanizing a group of people, it's very hard to change that. But that just kept ramping up. It ramped up in Congress. It ramped up on radio. It ramped up everywhere. And, just got worse and worse and worse, right? And into the 2000s. And, of course, we had all of the investigations, right? The Ken Starr, right? And then Hillary Clinton, and all these things that just launched on and on and on. So everything just got more and more bitter. And I mean, in the last several years, just look at what's being said. How nasty it is. I mean, am I a blood-sucking murderer? No. No way am I that. But people are calling me that. Labeling me as such because I'm a liberal. Right? And they're playing as if, democratic socialism or socialism itself, is, the detriment to the world. It's going to destroy it and, take it into a burning hell. I mean, this is so far from the truth that it's ridiculous. And you see people saying the same thing of the far right, right? They're Nazis, neo-fascists, they need to be stomped out, I mean, how far we have come. And we have let ourselves do it. Right? We did. I mean, you think about it. Think back. If you're one of those people running down some rabbit hole, you've left friends behind who still want to be your friends, who are still there for you. They just don't share your belief. And they might have good reason to, so maybe you ought to listen. It's just sad to see that all happen. And now we're at a point where states have gerrymandered themselves into almost perpetual control over a state. State legislatures are passing laws that the majority of their people don't even want, just because they can. They're going after things that aren't even issues, that don't even matter. They're just, Hail Marys, because I'm religious, we're going to do this, I mean, we're taking this country backwards in a terribly, terribly dark, dark way. And that scares me. I wish I could be here to see it and fight with it, but I can't. That's going to have to be you guys. But goddamn, get out there and fight, will you? I mean, don't let this ship go down without a fight. I want to fight, but I wish I had better armaments at my disposal right now to do it. But I don't, and I can't. And I'm running out of steam, guys. I'm sorry. Just not a great day for me. All right, well, thanks for listening to that. At least I got a few videos done today. I'll try to push myself to get a couple more done tomorrow. All right, everybody, thanks. Peace. And hang 10.